Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about what I think one of the biggest events that Nexon holds out almost every year, and that is of course going to be the Terra burning events. Now, for most of you have probably already seen that Nexon released and highlight update notes for their summer patch called Rise, Promise of the Guardian. And now within this, not only do we get a new class of Dell, but we also have one of their major events that I think is very good for players that are coming back to the game, trying to progress or trying to, do other in-game things like Legion, Link skills, second main, first main, etc., etc. So I go down here and I click into Terra Burning event. It's going to start from June, right after the maintenance today, and last all the way up until July 21st. Now this event can only be started by characters created during the event with the exclusion of Adele and Zero. That's pretty common because usually a new class will not be enabled to be burned, just because I think that would be a little too OP, especially considering the items that you also get from this. That being said, for those of you who don't know what Terra Burning is, it's basically an event where you get to create one new character, and every time you level up that character, you actually get 3 levels all the way up until level 200. Now, this isn't to be confused with the Mega Burning event, which gets your characters up to level 150. But Terra Burning has benefits up to level 200 and then extends beyond all the way up until 210. So it's very, very suitable for people who are trying to make a new main, their first main, a Kanna mule, a level 3 link skill, etc., because it provides you with a bunch of resources that you can use to actually invest into that character in order to get your link skill, your second main started, your Kanna farmer started, etc., etc. So now I'm just going to go over the rewards real quick. So basically you get a snail pet that lasts for 25 hours, and that's duration. So it's not after you open it, it lasts for 20, in the next 25 hours it expires. It actually can be summoned for a duration of 25 hours. Next we have level 30 equipment box, which is pretty standard. It's just some random level 30 gears for your class. It's not random because there's only a couple sets for level 30, but that's basically what it is. At level, I believe 100, you get your legendary cryptic chest, which comes with all your frozen gear, and a mastery box where you can get spell traces, mastery books, or mastery book 30s. Now this is really good, especially if you don't have the mesas to buy mastery books. This is pretty much your time to get 8 of them for free. I highly, highly recommend not getting spell traces because those can be farmed, and it is a source of mesas, but it's not a lot. And you'll probably get more out of getting the mastery books. Now the Frozen set is pretty good. I don't like to talk about the Frozen set a lot just because it's only event based, but it is a very, very good standby equipment set that you can use all the way up until you get your CRA gear. And as you can see with the Terra Burning, you actually do get some CRA gear to use up until July 21st, and you can see that right here. So enter character, I believe it's level 150. Yep, can be opened at level 150. Open to receive a CRA hat, top, bottom, and weapon. Now, these are time limited, but they are enhanced. They're epic potential. So up until July 21st, this is what I was talking about. It gives you about a month and a half, or just less than a month and a half, to go ahead and get this character to level 210. And these are resources that, for some people might not have, because not everybody can get their Root Abyss gear carried, But there's actually other stuff. So as you can see here, there's additional rewards past level 200. Or I should also mention that you also get a title that gives you the most important stat, I think, is the Arcane Power plus 50. Basically, for those guys who don't know, in the Arcane River, your damage to mobs is highly, highly based on your Arcane Power, and there's always a threshold in every map. If you meet that threshold, you can do 100% of your damage or more. And if you don't meet that threshold, you have damage reductions, not to mention if you're below the level of the mob, which usually you are, that also decreases your damage, which is why Arcane Power 50 is very good, especially for people who want to train in the first Vanishing River maps. Now, upon reaching level 200, you get to open the Keep on Burning box, and basically you get a Mega Character Burninator, and what that does is basically you can use it to go train Another character to level 150. Now this is what I think is really good for level 2 link skills. So classes that can have level 2 link skills are different to classes that can have level 3 link skills, because at level 210 you unlock the level 3, and at the 120, 150, 120 I think, you unlock level 2 link skill and a character expansion coupon, which will save you some money. You get 20 node stones, and for new players I think this is so important, because at a newer player isn't going to have the capability to farm hundreds of node stones on an alternate character for their new first or second mains, which is why I think these node stone gives, so you can get 20, 40, 90 node stones and then 5 experience node stones. So that'll be really beneficial to newer players who are trying to level up, say, boost nodes, skill nodes. Specifically, if you're playing a Kanna, right? People really emphasize what's that skill? Domain, as like, you know, what you should have maxed if you want to farm on it, if you want to join bosses on it, and experience node stones are going to help out in that regard. And now that you know what Terra burning is, here's going to pretty much my opinions on what you should do with this Terra burning. So personally, I like to take these Terra burning events to take advantage of them and make my level 3 link skills. Now I say that because I do already have a lot of my mains figured out. I also have the characters, so I can farm the resources in order to make a main, which is why I personally don't recommend using the Terra burning events to make a first or second main character. I like to use it to make link skills, because link skills are, for most of you to know, are a lot harder to train when you're not trying to invest too many resources into it. You know, you don't want to put in 10 bill, 20 bill into a character you're only getting to level 210 and then possibly never playing again. And that's not even accounting for the time it takes for you to acquire all the gear that you need before you even upgrade it, because getting past level 210 can take a really long time, and you can speed it up with gear. However, you don't need to spend a lot of mesos. Of course, you can always train with just the minimum you need to one-shot at FES 2 and just train all the way to 210. I'm not sure how viable that is in Reboot, because of the monster level EXP reduction. So I think a lot of people choose to train at Arcane River. So link skills, right? So as I mentioned earlier, link skills vary from classes. Some can have a max at level 3 and some can have a max at level 2. As you can see, Angelic Buster has a max at level 3 and it gains 30% skill damage for each level. Aaron, somewhat the same, it gains 250%, another 250% in the next level. Arc, also the same. So usually what I like to do is use this time to upgrade these link skills, because they are a lot harder to do and much more of a time commitment if you're training them up to level 210 rather than 150 or 200 for Legion. And the gear that they provide you with is going to be one less of an obstacle that you need in order to train your character. So as you can see, Kadena is one of the classes that has a level 2 link skill, and that's going to be hard capped. So once you hit level 120 or 150, I'm pretty sure it's 120, it's never going to get any better. Cygnus Knights are the same thing. Demon Avenger, as you can see, gain an extra 5% damage. Now this is really beneficial to make a level 3 link skill, because this, once you have it, it's permanent, right? So these are basically bonuses, buffs that you're gonna have forever, rather than making, say, a second main that you like and then deciding you don't really like it all that much and then you stop playing it. Well, then you don't really gain much from that, right? But if you make a link skill with it, you can get these damage bonuses forever. You can see another 5% boss damage, extra EXP. So what I think I'm personally going to do is level up a Mercedes or a Beast Tamer to level 210, because Mercedes, for those of you who don't know, once you hit the level 3, I should probably just find it. Once you get to level 3, you get 20 additional percent EXP compared to 15. Now, 5% might not seem like a big difference, but if you consider when you're training from level 200 to 250 and then ultimately 250 to 275, that 5% EXP is going to go a long way, because you're going to be training for an extremely long amount of time. Now, for those of you who maybe aren't worrying as much on link skills as of right now and would rather focus on something else, another alternative, of course, is to make your main. You can take advantage of the fact, as I said earlier, of all these node stones to give your main character a little boost in regards to damage. And of course, the CRA set is going to help you progress in further and maybe even get to killing CRA within that first month-ish time frame that you have where the Terra burning event is lasting. But yeah, that's pretty much all up to you. And personally, um, if I didn't already have one of these, what I would be doing is using this event to make my Arcane Kanna farmer. Now, for those of you who don't know, farming on a Kanna is pretty much how most players, if not all players, get a majority of their mesos after um, progressing decently far into the game, right? So early levels, early game, you can probably survive doing Ursus, Maple Tour every day, and you could honestly use that as your main source of funding on your main character, and using I guess in the cash shop now it's called the Wild Totem to progress yourself. But eventually, if you don't have the rewards points, you're not going to be able to buy the Wild Totem, and most people, it is not efficient to train at 0 times spawn multiplier. With the recent Kishin nerf, that makes it harder for you to Kishin yourself on a separate computer because you will have a 30-second downtime. So it's all very interesting. So this is why I recommend, or what I would personally do if I didn't already have an Arcane Kanna farmer, was use this Terra Burning event to get an Arcane Kanna farmer, Arcana. I do also have a guide on that on my channel somewhere. I'll leave the link down below in the comment section, in the description. But yeah, it's really beneficial because, like I said, already mentioned, the node stones are going to be super, super beneficial in getting your boost nodes and your skill nodes. Specifically, if you can get domain leveled up a little bit with the experience nodes, or if you can get a perfect triple trio node with these regular node stones, you have a 90, and if you can get 2 or 3, that's going to be a huge benefit to your Kanna overall, because you are most likely going to have to wait for events to get node stones, because farming them is going to be really difficult without whatever you call it. But yeah, that's pretty much my opinions on what you should do, especially if you're planning to play Maplestory as a long-term thing. Of course, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. These are just my opinions, and in no way should you just take my word for it. Always do what you think is best for you. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on what I think people could use the Terra Burning for to take advantage to, increase their progression in the game, right? People like making progression fast because it makes it a lot easier to have enjoyment if you can get to where you want to quicker rather than having to work all the way there. So this is one of the ways where you can take that additional boost and, make the game a little bit easier for yourself, because as most of us know, playing reboot or maybe even regular server is a huge grind. But yeah, that's going to conclude my video today, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you learned something. Subscribe if you want to see more Maplestory content, or continue watching my progression series, which I will have another episode of in the next coming days. And it's basically just going to be more upgrading. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching and happy mapling. Peace!